That's awesome. Yeah, dude. So Cedric, if you really want to be mad at someone, one, be mad at yourself for trying to lean on the game to get you back in it, and two, be mad at Konami. Even though, be careful what you wish for, because with the way you played that first half before they interjected, dog, top 5,000 is insane, bro. If you played FC, you'd be Division 6, and I'm not being a dick. What's up, everybody? OG here. So what you just heard was a player that came into my chat after I beat him. I beat him handily. He was a Division 1 player. He's currently top 5,000. So that's why I said that, because he was bringing it up, and I destroyed him. The final score was 3-1. Should have been literally 6-1, but the same thing happened in that game that is going to happen here. It's only on this game. The opponent wins, which is insane, and it is the underlying problem with eFootball, right? And I've been saying it for a while now. I'll say it again. Konami did that on purpose. They realize they have a large number of lower skilled players. They want their money, and so they found a way that these players could compete, and not only compete but win, and not really be good at football, which is totally against everything they came through the years with, everything their roots, their heritage holds, right? This game was always about being the most true to football. This game was always a badge of honor for those who played it, because if you played FC, formerly FIFA, you just were that arcade guy that kind of liked the game, the sport, right? But if you played PES, you had to know how to play football or you were going to get crushed, right? Not only that, but when you knew how to play football, when you were good on the sticks at football, you were rewarded, which should be the case. We are competing in football on the sticks. However, what eFootball is now, it isn't really a competition of the sport at all. Literally, the defense, that's something out of, a sci-fi script. It is not defense at all. All of a sudden, players get this rocket booster speed to run after you and chase you down and cover 10 yards in no time, so you can't even get a pass off. Then they just play a through ball. The through balls are threaded perfectly up the pitch to where you can have zero passing, zero build-up, zero connection from your defense to your midfield to your attack, and still get chance after chance after chance. Now, on this goal, which ended up being the winning goal, right, there was a corner kick and a counterattack. No problem there, right? It just shows you the way in which he attacked. It gives you an idea of what you're seeing throughout the entire game. And the problem is, even with this chance, even with this counterattack, right, there's no way a player like at this level would be in a game with me, period. And you'll see as the game goes on the difference in skill level. However, you will also see where Konami makes up for the lack of skill in their player base and puts unrealistic mechanics, such as the entire defensive system, such as the inability to manually control your runs, right? Your players either run away, or they come to in possession, or they go all the way out wide, and then the only thing you could do is super cancel and control your player a bit, but let's be honest, it's just not fluid. Definitely not compared to FC, which gives you the ability to control everything, right? Your players are running away because maybe you have a quick counter on, but you're able to either player lock and take control of the player making the run so you can go wherever you want, or you can press L1 or R1, right? Calling players to, sending players away if you want to, and then you can even add direction to it. Put them on a diagonal right, diagonal left, diagonal towards you. You can literally make any type of adjustment you want, including controlling the actual runner while the player with the ball waits for your command and what pass to play, right? It is complete control. The dynamic shooting system in FC, as opposed to just shoot and aim over in eFootball. Now, of course, they have that assisted, or what I call rookie shooting, in FC too, but the bottom line is all the way around. I mean, the defensive system in FC, you are able to, not only able, you have to now, right? For years, they had a terrible defensive system like eFootball, where it was AI dominated. You didn't need defensive skill, and actually you were rewarded by not defending yourself. Now, you absolutely have to manually defend, and you absolutely get rewarded for having proper defensive principles, right? But with that being said, I'm not saying FC is perfect. I'm just saying it is way more skill-based, and you get rewarded for actually playing football, which is what we are supposed to be playing in the first place. But I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to watch. We ended up playing, me and the same opponent from eFootball, ended up playing FC because it turns out this player not only has played more eFootball than me, but he has played more FC than me because this year I've been transitioning between 3 football games, trying to give you guys the best content to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all of it about each of these games with no BS. And that's exactly what I'm doing here, showing you what eFootball is right now and what FC is. And as much as I hate EA Sports, as much as I wish Konami would take this game back to its roots, because then I would be 100% on board with eFootball and nothing else. But it's just not football right now. So, remember what I was talking about. Remember how this game went, because seeing this first half gives you a pretty good indicator of how the rest of the game goes, right? And to sum it up, it was essentially me trying to play football, give and goes, up, back, and throughs, moving the ball, and getting punished for it by the overpowered defense, only for my opponent to rush me, run into me, play through balls, try to get, chances on goal, calling it counterattacks, even though it wasn't football at all. So you are going to see for yourself exactly what I am talking about. You are going to see for yourself, no matter how much you hate the arcade feeling of FC, no matter how much you hate this, that, or the other in FC, it is just point blank the better football game right now. It is just point blank the most skill-based football game. There's no reason that a player of the caliber of my opponent, which I have tremendous respect for one, he wasn't a troll. We had a great conversation, a productive conversation about both eFootball and FC, and then we went and competed in both games. I'm just speaking the truth. That's what I told him when we spoke. He isn't a skilled player. Now, he has potential, but eFootball is doing him no favors. I should say Konami is doing him no favors with essentially taking a football game and watering it down just so lower skill players don't have to gain skill to be better. And the reason they're doing players like this opponent no favors is because he actually wants to play football. He plays football in real life right now, just like myself and many of us used to. But even if you didn't and you just love the sport, that means you want to compete in the sport on the sticks, not some watered down version of it, only being created so that players don't have to put in the time to actually get better at the sport we're playing, to actually learn the sport we're playing. I mean, there's players that turn on Smart Assist and have no idea about passing patterns, have no idea about how the formation, the tactics affect the player movement. They literally just spam the pass button until they get around the box and then press shoot. That's it. AI literally does the rest. They don't even have to aim, which I showcased with playing exactly how these players play instead of trying to play football, turning on Smart Assist, and I destroyed everybody after that. The reason being, the less you actually play, the better AI does for you with Smart Assist, which is disgusting, right? Because it essentially takes away from the whole point in playing. This whole instant gratification, don't put the work in to get better, this whole reward players that don't deserve it just because everyone deserves a participation medal. Everybody deserves to win, not just the players who are actually good at the game. I mean, all of that ties into what direction Konami has gone with this game. And if eFootball is to be salvaged at all, they need to get rid of that. If you are watching this game right now, and trust me, it only gets worse and worse. Remember, I haven't played any of these games as a competitive player this year. I've been playing one game, then another game, then another game, then another game. And I've made it to the top in all 3, but like I said, this player's played way more than me in both eFootball and FC. And the reason why that's important to note is because this game was out of hand and it would have been 5 times as bad. I would have been putting 5 times more effort into being sharp in FC. Truthfully, like I said at the very beginning to my last opponent who I destroyed, who was in a top 5,000 Division 1 player in eFootball, he's a Division 6 FC player. Now you're seeing, when I say that, it is true. This player, right, Division 2 level player in eFootball, is a Division 6 or 7 level player in FC. And I want to repeat that I'm not saying that to down him at all. I'm just saying that to show you that eFootball, because of Konami, is not a true football experience. A skilled footballer, and remember, we're playing a football simulation, does not get rewarded, right? the whole instant gratification thing, I already went into all that, right? The whole, we need to let everybody be able to win equally instead of, hey, I'm not very good right now, but I'm going to put the work in. Phil, a perfect example. If you follow the channel, you know Phil. If you don't, he is someone that didn't play football growing up, so he doesn't have that football background, but he loves the sport. He respects the sport. He knows that playing these football games means putting the time in to get better on the sticks. And so he does that, and he keeps improving. Everyone's seen it, not just me, and therefore everybody respects him. But it's not about that, right? Even if he was just doing it on his own without being part of this community, without being part of OGFC, it would be fun for him because that's what sports are about. That's what playing these games is about, right? You play, you improve, and then you get rewarded on the pitch. Your skills pay off, and you have those great memories, those great build-ups that lead to great goals, those great defensive plays that stop the opponent from scoring goals. Like, all of it is part of football, and Konami is taking that away. They're letting the AI do all of the stuff that makes the beautiful game the beautiful game. And what it does in return is gives these players this false sense of accomplishment when they really aren't doing anything, right? And so whether this player sees it or not, this was a rude awakening. So for all of you, what I want you to realize is you don't have to like FC, like I said before. You don't have to quit playing eFootball. I'm not going to quit playing eFootball. You just have to realize that right now, eFootball is not a skill-based game. It is not a game that rewards true football talent. It is a game that gives all players the chance to win because the AI is truly doing all of the skilled labor, right? Instead of the players. FC is a game where you are in control, where you can play football. Whether it's the runs, whether it's the shooting with precision shooting, the manual defending, all the way around. Now, we aren't even going to go into all of the modes and the way better content that FC has because that's just a given, right? You don't even have to compare that. This video was strictly to show you, for one, that eFootball has a lot of work if it wants to get back to its roots and if it wants to just be a true football simulator. And it also is meant to show you that if you want to play a true football game where you can use your skill to compete and to win, to be rewarded for actually playing football, then right now, FC is your best option. So in some way or another, I hope this video helped you out. As always, if you want to see this in its entirety, the match, my conversation with the opponent, again, salute to him for being a man, having a conversation, competing, right? Not being a little snowflake like PSN is trying to turn all its players into, where you get offended and report anything, which is a complete joke, by the way, but salute to him. And hopefully this experience helped him out too. If not, I know it will help out many of you. As always, if you like this video, please smash that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Join my Discord. The link is in my YouTube bio, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.